All right, I need to make a quick video here for a subscriber. It's basically a reply to a question. I can't really answer the question without showing you how I did it. Let me get this camera in a better spot. So what we got here is my my bandsaw jig for cutting logs. And I mounted this Harbor Freight clamp to it. If you've watched the video, you see how the clamp is attached to this whole jig, right? But somebody was asking, well, how did I get the bolts inside the clamp? So I'm going to show you. It's been so long since I did this, I can hardly remember. But so I pulled it all apart. Basically, it mounts to the jig. And then you got the wooden spacers, and then on the other side of the jig you can tighten it and or move it around. So what I did, apparently, it's been so long, is I took a piece of T-track and cut two short pieces out of the T-track. And the T-track that I'm using looks something like that, and it fits really good inside this Harbor Freight clamp. So it slides right along there, right? So it had a hole in it already. And I found some square 1/4-inch nuts that fit in that T-track. Can you see that? I'm trying to stare at the camera and do this at the same time. Let me get behind it. See if we can figure this out. So there it is. There's that square nut right there that I just slid in the T-track, then threaded the bolt through that all the way. It's just a carriage bolt that I'm using, but just looking at this, a 1/4-inch bolt would work also. It fits in there. The only problem is you would have to get it right over that hole and stick it down in there. So you'd have to cut out a channel so this bolt would go down in there, and then it would lock in place. You just got to cut these the ridges off the top so the bolt would go down straight in. Otherwise it's just going to get caught right there. If the bolt was flipped over trying to go through there, it's not going to go all the way through. Right, so I just put a square nut that fit down the T-channel, in the T-channel, and put this 1/4-inch carriage bolt on it, and then it slides on the carriage, or on the clamp. Right, just fits right in there. Kind of. It's kind of tight, but it's a good fit. It slides right in, then you stick it through the jig, and now your bar clamp is held onto the jig. This one in the back is stuck pretty good back there. And it would come out, there it is, if I work on it, right? So you can actually adjust the whole, you just loosen the clamp on there rather than move it from all the holes that I drilled in there, right? You could just loosen those, and then the clamp would slide back and forth a little bit. If you had to do something else, that's why I created all those holes in there. I can go up and down with this thing, and back and forth with it. But it's just basically a chunk of T-track that fits in this Harbor Freight clamp, right? So if you got a Harbor Freight near you, I think these are 36-inch clamps, and they're cheap bar clamps, but for this application they work really good. And then you just mount this whole bar. Back up a little bit here, maybe that'll help. Then you just mount this whole bar, put your wood blocks on there as your spacers, your appropriate holes that you want to use, slide it through there, and then I just put a washer and a hex nut on the back. If you wanted to get crazy, you can put T-nuts or something back here, or wing nuts. But it doesn't get moved a lot, so it doesn't bother me a bit just to do that. And then that's how it works. So if you got any more questions, let me know. Talk to you later.